We thought it would be important to dedicate an episode to talk about why dangerous men are actually important to society. The United States government spent a lot of money making me a very dangerous man. There's going to be dangerous men out there. That's the foregone conclusion. There's going to be dangerous people. Everyone whose doors we, kicked in to go get a terrorist in Iraq, that was a dangerous man. And I will tell you, you know what? You want to know what a bad, dangerous man fears? A good, dangerous man. Accepting Jesus Christ, my number one best decision ever. Marrying my wife Tina, second best decision ever. Because as much as we all like to pretend that we're just so enlightened nowadays, and we've gone past all of these draconian and barbaric notions of men having to be protectors, garbage. This inherent idea in men that we should protect is not a bad thing. And yes, aggression can be a part of that. Right, that's a part of what it means to be a dangerous man. But nowadays we're being told that's all archaic, that's all bad, and we need to suppress this within men. We need to suppress this within young men because look at all the problems that we have with violent crime. Look at our prison population. We have a whole group, in some cases, numbers of young men that have not been able to control their aggression. And so things like aggression have become what we're going to attack, what we need to suppress. There are aspects of masculinity which can be toxic. Nobody doubts that, right? There's aspects of femininity that can be toxic. I'm sorry, these are not just social constructs that appeared overnight because we felt like it. Or there's certain norms with respect to male and female behavior that have informed some of these social constructs, right? Because some things are social constructs. And some of those social constructs can be good and beneficial, and some of them can be bad. But as we start talking about male and female, almost as if it's some sort of class structure, and that class structure has been, predominantly beneficial to men, and now it's the patriarchy, and the patriarchy is all about holding down women, and if you're a male, you automatically are born into this, and this is what you believe, and this is how you behave, and we need to destroy or severely mitigate that. Where exactly does that leave us? Right, but if you want men to be harmless, well, I got news for you. You're not going to make all men harmless, which means there's still going to be dangerous men out there. And those dangerous men are going to want to do bad things to people. And if the only way that you're defending yourself is with harmless men, I got news for you. Probably not going to work out the way you intended. But what we find is that boys at 9 months old tend to prefer certain types of toys and activities, and girls tend to prefer other types of toys and activities. Now, does that mean there's some sort of inequity involved there? No, not necessarily. Right? It's perfectly appropriate for different people to have different preferences based off of their biology. Now, does that mean that every girl has to do this and every boy has to do that? No. No, we should see people as individuals, but we also shouldn't discount with thousands of years of human history, and academic studies have shown us to be overwhelmingly true, is that there do tend to be different preferences. There is a reason why when you look at violent offenders in jail, an overwhelming number of them come from they're young men that didn't have a positive male role model in their life. One of the things I always stress to young men is that it is completely unfair of us in society to essentially put all the responsibility onto the mother of your children to raise the children, to provide for the children, to nurture the children, while you go off and do whatever the hell you want. A real man doesn't do that. A real man stands by their wife, stands by the mother of their children, stands by their family and provides and protects them. Does that mean a woman can't do some of those same things? Absolutely not. These are the sort of things, honor, courage, loyalty, honesty. These are the sort of things that we need to be fostering within our young men instead of treating them as if there's something inherently wrong with them because they're young men. And with their daughters, they have this attitude that if anybody touches my little girl or if my little girl goes out on a date, because I'm going to kill that boy. But then when it comes to talking about their son, well, their son should just go out there and sow his oats. Son, just go out there and say, who's your son going to do that with? Somebody else's daughter. No, we should be teaching our young men that part of respecting women is not just providing, if that's the role you play within the family structure, is not just protecting, which is always a role men should play in the family structure, but part of it is caring about their honor, their integrity, and understanding that not putting a woman in a compromising situation, not pressuring her to do something that she doesn't want to do, is not just about, preventing things like rape or sexual assault. Those should be givens. All right, we shouldn't have to teach our kids, don't rape. That should be a given. We should be teaching our sons, no, you need to respect women. And respecting women doesn't mean that you act in some sort of emasculated form toward them or you act in a subservient form toward them. Another thing that drives me nuts is when men go on and on about, well, don't argue with your wife, just admit you're wrong. Well, no, admit you're wrong if you're wrong. And if you're right, then argue for being right. But because I was taught by both a father and a mother on what a strong man looked like, I'm not intimidated by strong women.